Happy birthday if it's your birthday. Happy belated birthday if it's in the past. Happy future birthday if it's in the future. My name is LimedGreen, and welcome to the 114 subscriber special Q&A. You guys have asked all sorts of questions, and now I'm gonna answer them. I'm gonna those cues, while also playing Happy Birthdays, a game where basically you try and create humans from like thousands and thousands of years. You basically start with like a bacteria life, and then you just like evolve that. It's kind of a cool game. I thought it was, relevant because, my signature catchphrase is happy birthday. Yeah, that's what I'll be playing in the background. We'll start with the green playing stage. Jotoian Sam asks, how do you decide what games to play on the channel? It really depends what games I like, what games I know well, and what games I feel like haven't been given a fair treatment online. I feel like Fire Girl really fits the bill really well in that department. Ebe, Mab Father, and Witch's House, they're just games I like. Pokemon Crystal, it holds a special place in my heart. Games I want to show off to people and be like, hey, I like this game. If I know it well enough, you'll see it on this channels eventually, I guess. Draw445 says, LimedGreen? You spelled your name wrong. Well, originally I was gonna say my name was just LimedGreen. And then I found out someone else on YouTube took the name LimedGreen, and I jumped on Fortnite, and it was then I said, I'm just gonna be LimedGreen. Fortnite of all things. And the reason why I went with LimedGreen of all things is, a lot of mainstream YouTubers, if you look at them, really break it down, it's two words just put together. Kind of sticks in your head. Easy to say, easy to remember. Easy to draw. Half Past Solder asks, when is Game Gush coming back? Well, if you don't know, Game Gush was a series I really only did 2 videos of, and it was where I just basically gush about games that I really liked. I actually got a shout out in the comments of one of the Game Gush videos, and I had planned to do another on SpongeBob Atlantis SquarePantis when the SpongeBob Sponge on the Run was coming out. I had a big majority of the video recorded. I had like SpongeBob Pop-Tarts involved, because there were SpongeBob Pop-Tarts, and they're gonna be like sitting in a big bowl of water with a pineapple in there, and throughout the video you'd like watch them like dissolve. That was my vision, and at the end I would like pick them up and like take a big bite of them, and then I lost like all the footage, and I got really sad. And yeah, The reason why there hasn't been more is because Game Gush takes a lot of time and energy, to be honest. Uh, and yeah, that's basically the reason. Here's a question from the Rad Father. Why not just do classic Let's Plays? Uh, well, in the beginning, that was my intention, and then it became, I don't really have the proper methods, and then it turned into, well, let's kind of turn Let's Plays on its head. When everyone is doing Let's Plays, nobody is, Now, the real thing gamers are doing is streaming and then putting VODs up, to watch hour-long streams. Or they're doing, video essays. People think Let's Plays are, in the past. I feel like that's only because in the... How do I say this? That's because of the presentation. If they're in a different format, then people would be like, oh, that's kind of neat. Bring them back in. So, I guess that's the answer. People, they want Let's Plays, but they want them in a different format. I forgot how to play this game, so let's move on to this next answer while I try and remember how I play Happy Birthdays. This next question comes from, what is that, Shine? Will you come back to games you've already played? If I want to, I guess, or if you guys want to, or want me to, maybe. For a fair number of the games so far, I feel like I've beaten them fully. Is there... Say for, like, Ocarina of Time, like, Master Quest? Or, like, 5... A lot of the FNAF games, you could do more. Maybe, like a revisiting type deal. Like, oh, man, this game is pretty fun. I don't want to do, like, a thing like, oh, man, let's see if this game holds up in this current year, because those videos can like really date themselves, but something like revisiting, or that'll be nice, or like a master mode type deal. If I've played your favorite game and you really want me to get back into your series, I'm always down for a Sporkle quiz or any type of online quiz. The Fish's House just says underrated games. Let me see here. I've talked about Elisa before. I wouldn't really call Arzette underrated. Cassette Beast is kinda underrated. I'll praise Death Road to Canada any day of the week. Happy Birthdays, the game I'm playing. That's a really good game. The game I helped kickstart, Mika and the Witch's Mountain. I got through that game in there. uh, I'm surprised Nefarious. Uh, I picked this game up near the Switch's launch. I thought that was kind of an underrated game, and the more I look into it, the more I'm surprised like how big it is. Especially, it being an indie game. I had never heard of it, and all of a sudden I'm like, whoa, this game's huge. You know, uh, the more the years go on, it just like there's a whole network of people that are like, oh man, I love this game. Like I've never heard of people loving Nefarious until after I bought the game. Uh, Sumire or Sumire. I think I've talked about this game before. Uh, I think that's probably one of the most underrated games I have. I've never heard anyone talk about this game. And it made me cry. Light Fairy Tale, I've also talked about this game. I'm also hoping uh, with I guess kickstart the third entry. Yars Rising is pretty good. But is that enough underrated games? I'm not sure. Is there any Nexomon? If you're tired of Pokemon, jump over to Nexomon. I'm just saying. IB to OZ asks, how long have you been on YouTube? I've been on YouTube for quite a while. A while ago, I was doing like online schooling, and that was really when I discovered YouTube. One of the first videos I remember watching was Potter Puppet Pals, if you've seen that. I also first watched, like the Ren and Stimpy bit, the log song. We're watching like tons of parodies of that with like Naruto, the log substitution jutsu. They had tons of those. And then from there, I'm not even sure. I know how. Super Smash Brothers Brawl came out around the same time, so a lot of people were like, what's this character from? What's this character from? What's a Pikmin? What's a Fire Emblem? And that's how I stumbled upon Zemnort and his Super Smash Brothers Brawl playthrough, and apparently that's like lost of time now. He played with Fuducker 2, which he did like a remake of Me at the Zoo, and he got one of the creators of YouTube to comment on it, which is crazy. And then from there, I checked out Carl 1001, which leads you into Boogie Mushroom, and then they did their own thing with Boogie Carl, which later became Troy and Carl. In the same vein of learning about content creators through Super Smash Bros. Brawl, I found Pizza Dude Man guy who was doing like speculation videos about Super Smash Bros. 4, and then eventually we found out it was still gonna be called Super Smash Bros. 4, 3DS and Wii U, and that's still kind of crazy to me. He did this video where it was like a bunch of characters all in one video, and I'm like, who are these characters? I've never seen them before in my life, and this is back in the day where, I didn't even have a YouTube account. I would just like remember the channels I liked, and I would just type them in and check on them every once in a while, which is why I say, I'm really appreciative of everyone who checks out the channel. No matter if you comment or not, because I've been in your shoes. And one of the final channels, I'll say, I checked out at the same time because they were unavoidable. Everyone was there. Was, Chugga Conroy. Everyone back in the day couldn't avoid seeing and hearing when Chugga saw the Fampy and he was like, Fampy! And the shiny coughing methane and the Steve, which I'm surprised that was so later in the timeline. If you're just hearing about this now, those playthroughs hit the early 2000s like no other. I can't express like how big those were. I just can't express. They're like Undertale for 2015 or whatever. No, Gregory's not a robot, says. More FNAF soon? Well, FNAF does really well on the channel. Alright, I'm not denying that. Like, extremely well. There's the one video on FNAF I did that gets probably like at least 5 views every day, and I'm not sure why. It's kind of scary. TBH. And then the other video I did on FNAF, it's like a random FNAF 3 video, episode 2 for some reason. And that got like 2,000 views in like 2 days or something weird like that. And it never got hardly any views ever again. And that like astounds me and flabbergasts me, and I don't know. Like I said, FNAF does it really well. I'd love to do more, but FNAF 4, which is the next I would be doing, is really hard. I put up a poll a little while ago that was like, hey, can I focus more so on the book side of things? And I'll leave all my sources and stuff, including the poll, in the description, where you can be like, hey, you have to finish FNAF 4. It's important to the I don't know, timeline. Or you can say, hey, you have to only play the game. I don't know. Vote in the poll. That's what I'm saying. Please vote. The Iced Axe asks, how did you get custom Robo up on a Times Square billboard? Well, very good question. There's actually an app. I'll see if I can link it in the description. I'm not sure. Called Pixel Star, and you can just if you got $40, I believe it's still $40, you can upload any content not any content, within reason, to a giant billboard in New York. And with that, there you are. It's pretty much as simple as that. Within reason, within their guidelines, you can do that. And they give you a slotted time, and then they're like, all right, here you are. And then that's kind of like how the video is set, because they're like, all right, it's gonna be here, it's gonna be at that time. And then if you're if you're not in New York, then they're like, all right, here's like a link to watch it. And then that's how the video was. You know, you got like a little live stream of it. And then if you're not there watching it in the live stream, then they give you like a little, like a weird little, I don't know, like a GIF afterwards, I guess. That's what the short was of it. And then in like 48 hours, they just delete all the records of it. So if you get it and wait like a week before you check it, it's erased from public history. I don't know. So it's kind of cool. Kind of neat. I think it would be neater if you actually lived in New York and you got it to experience it. I was very nervous, I'll have to say. When I got it, I was like, oh geez, I'm gonna get like body slammed by custom Robo IP holders, and then nobody even noticed. Lugga Lamb asks, do you watch your own videos? I go back over and make sure they're edited well and whatever before they upload, but I don't like seek them out. That's something I don't really try and do. Sometimes I go back and see them before I like clip them, calm down. Stockpot In asks, any ideas left on the cutting room floor? I talked a little bit in my thumbnail video about the Walking Dead series I didn't do, and I hope to eventually do that one day. I'm not sure. I had episode 1 of this one series I really want to put up eventually. I don't want to tell you because this is a secret. I wanted to do happy birthdays eventually, but I guess I'm doing it on Q&A videos. I have like a lot that I just want to repurpose eventually. That's my plans. Son of Nick asks, what the dog doing? I think this is in reference to at the end of the Scooby-Doo Unmasked game Gush, there's a picture of a dog, and that picture is in fact of my dog, Scooby-Doo. I wanted to slip him in there because his name's Scooby-Doo. I'll put a picture of him in here. He's in fact 18, and you know, it wouldn't feel right to have a video about Scooby-Doo without Scooby-Doo. I have another dog, Shamrock. I'll throw a a picture of Shamrock also here. And yeah, that's what the dog's doing. Tier Lease asks, how much money rounded to the nearest 100 have you made off the channel? Well, to start off with, 0. I'm not big enough or funny enough to make any money. And to continue on, it's a funny concept to, go from watching the content to creating, right? Just watching content, you're like, wow, that's cool, that's funny, I can probably make some of my own. And then to go on and create something, suddenly you have like a microphone and like a camera in front of your face, and then you start talking, and then it's like there's no one here. You're just staring at a camera and no one's there, and like all the editing is gone. It's the most awkward thing you could ever see. It's so hard to explain. Rhea Reacts is here with the final question. And the question is, why don't you ever say like, comment, and subscribe? I've said comment on the video. I've said subscribe to these other channels that I recommend. But I've never said all three in the same sentence. And that's purposeful. Because of one reason. I've been on YouTube, like I said previously, for a long time. And I feel like those three words have been drilled into your head over and over and over. And I say, if I said them to you over and over, they'd just be lost in the white noise. What difference would it be if I said them as opposed to if anyone else said them? The people nowadays, they're grown up. They already know to like, comment, subscribe. They already know that boosts the video in the algorithm. Back in the day, I understand why they said it. But nowadays, I see no reason to say like, comment, and subscribe. Everyone knows you have to do that. So that is why I don't say it. Because everyone knows already. But I have wanted to say it out of how funny it sounds and how like into the meme culture it has become. So we'll end this video like that. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.